¿Repite la gente que va repite?
Empezamos con gente mayor, gente de exclusión social, y llevamos ya una trayectoria muy larga. Cada vez viene más gente joven. La gente joven verdaderamente en la ciudad y en el mundo rural necesita salir para adelante, y nosotros somos como una puerta a esa salida, a ese desafío de las necesidades, y sí que somos un punto de partida.
Facilitado.
Sí,
pues
sí.
perdona, es tu sugerencia.
Espera, que hay preguntas.
Una preguntita solo. ¿Os acercáis vosotros a asociaciones, a empresas de...?
Sí, solemos interactuar
¿Y qué
con lo que son las puertas activas.
¿Qué respuesta tenéis?
Muy buena.
Sí.
Normalmente muy buena.
Vale.
Yo tengo otra más. El otro día comentábamos hace 2 semanas, con los medios, que en cierto modo los telecentros funcionaban, y me gustó mucho la idea, me pareció muy bonita, casi como un centro asociativo, más allá del propio internet, ¿no? Donde una especie de ágora, ¿no? Del barrio. Eso lo veis vosotros también, más allá de internet la gente va a debatir, a hablar, a consultar problemas.
Sí. Van a consultar, ya he dicho antes.
How it can work, speak to communities, I think, to bring cohesion to communities through participation, and also push different causes forward. So I wanted to talk about one of the projects that we supported. So let me take a step back. And the way that our microgrant competition works is that we ask people to send in their ideas, and we are able to support them financially to a certain extent, but also through giving them different training opportunities and ways to make themselves heard online. So this was a library in Guatemala. It's called the Chela Civic Library, and it's part of the Weekend Community Library program, which I believe is out of Germany. And they are helping to bring technology to local libraries in Central America. I think quite a few libraries, perhaps a dozen, but this project was working just with the Chela Civic Libraries, and in Quetzaltenango, which is a partnership for greater civic participation and transparency in the public sector. So around this time that this project began, which was about 1.5 years ago, the Guatemalan Congress had passed a law for free access to information. So though this law existed, there was no way to ensure that this was reaching the rural communities which might benefit the most from it. That these initiatives would get to people that were really dealing with issues about access to public information. So what our project did with Chela Civic Libraries was we provided citizen media training, which would help individuals to learn about the different social media that they could use. But before we did that, we also helped them to identify and to tell, to find out what their civic, what the problems were that they were facing in their groups. So we encouraged them to help request information that could help solve their issues. So the process was learning about their own rights, learning about how to find information about that, and then going to the government and asking for this information, because according to the law, they had the right to do this. And the class was called The Right to Access Public Information Through Technology. And they documented the process on this blog, which was invoked a way to catalyze other libraries within the region with information that they could access. And it worked. People wrote to I believe it was the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Education, and they received information back, and all of this was posted online. So it was mostly directed at young people, and so not only did they learn to get the information, but to become active with it, and to contribute to the group that they were working with. So through this they can practice putting their opinions out to the public, and to see their work online, and to see that they are part of the process, and to become empowered through this. And in a way understand that they have the right to demand information from their government, and then they can share this again through social media outlets. So this is just sort of an example of the kind of projects that we support, and the way that we feel that moving from consumption and into interactive activities with the global audience can help people to move forward with digital participation. I also want to talk very briefly about another project that we supported at the same time, which was called in this community, many people who are indigenous move to the cities and the urban centers for education or for work. But and in doing so, slowly their own culture ebbs away. Unfortunately, so this happens all over the world. And anyway, so for this project, they recorded a lot of projects in Quechua and their local language. I wanted to play one, but there's no internet, so. This is another project we supported. We also do a lot of blogging. We really support blogging because we feel like it's the most direct way for people to get online, share their stories. We have some guides to read about social media, about blogging positively, focusing on people with AIDS. And so, just briefly, I want to wrap up and say we support a lot of different kinds of media that two processes for accessing media. Wikimedia Commons, where people can, it's a database of really usable media files that everyone can contribute to. Storymaker is a new app that we're supporting for citizen journalists to enable them to more easily get their information into usable sound bites and stories online. We have some micro grantees this coming year, which I would just say maybe see our website, but they're all